Hey, what's up guys? It's Farmer Jack, and today we're gonna talk about bananas. I love bananas, not only because they're delicious and I've been eating them for a very, very long time, and you can put them in smoothies every day and they really don't get old, but they also produce like crazy in South Florida. We are so lucky here in Palm Beach County and kind of south of us. We could do bananas and they never get hit by cold like it would kind of in North Florida. So that being said, how do we grow them here? Bananas are an herbaceous plant, so they're not a tree with like a woody, trunk. They're totally different. You put in a pup, they call it, or an hijo, they call it down in Latin America, which is basically a transplanted banana from like a mother plant. So as you can see here, there's the big banana that's fruiting, and then there's a baby that popped up right out of that corum, it's called, that root mass. There's a baby that pops up. You can take a shovel and pop off one of those babies, and then you go plant that somewhere else and you start a new mass over there. So that's the easiest way to propagate, root division it's called. Also, people get tissue culture and all sorts of bananas at nurseries and really good varieties. So the idea is to get bananas that are going to produce quickly and produce heavily. There's 1,000 banana varieties out there. There's so many, it's mind-boggling, but there's really like a dozen that I stick with that are amazing. There's Mysore is delicious, Dwarf Namwa, Dwarf Cavendish is the one we're all used to. They do great. Manzano, ice cream, Goldfinger is a great producer, Mona Lisa. So definitely do your research getting the right variety. Not only do you want to think about that when you're choosing your banana, do you want one that's short or do you want one that's tall? Because bananas, when they're growing, they could either be, like this one's fruiting at 6 feet. This is a Dwarf Orinoco. This one's fruiting at 6 feet, which I like. I like that, A, because it's easy to harvest, and B, it's out, like it doesn't get knocked over in the wind, in storms, which is super common with bananas. This is mostly like water. When you cut into it, it's like the whole trunk is water, so it's heavy and it falls down in the wind. So dwarf bananas don't do that. They can hide under fences and stuff. If you want, some people like big bananas because they make a lot of biomass. Bananas don't only make bananas, but a lot of gardeners, they like to grow a lot of biomass, plant matter as well, to go chop it down and then go feed it to their other plants. So if that's something you're into, you might want big bananas because these things grow so quick, you're gonna have a ton of compost material, to feed your other trees. So it depends on what you want. I like the dwarf ones, but I like the bigger ones too in certain scenarios when you're really trying to build a system from a barren landscape. So that's how you plant the banana. How you manage them is really simple. A lot of people get overwhelmed because if you plant a banana and walk away for 10 years, those pups are gonna keep multiplying and it's gonna be like 20 bananas in that root mass. So think of it like this. You wanna just manage those pups to where there's only like 3 or 4 or 5 max at any given time. The pros say there should really be 3. There should be the little baby, there should be the teenager, and there should be the adult, that's making fruit, that's reproducing. So think of it like that. You really want to keep it at that because when it gets to like 8, 9, 10 bananas, they're all stealing energy from each other. So what I would also do is feed the bananas a lot. They're not like mangoes or star fruit. You can kind of walk away and just mulch them lightly. They're an herbaceous plant, remember? And a tropical one that really likes good compost, like Hawaiian, amazing soil. And we don't necessarily have that in Florida. So I like to feed them heavily with compost and mulch and even a little, garden fertilizer, natural of course, to get them really going. So if you do all those things, you're gonna have an amazing rack of bananas hanging up there in about 16 months. It'll be ready to go from when you plant it, if you do all those things right. At that point, you want to cut it off and harvest it. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys how to do that. You wanna take this banana rack, they call it, and you take a machete or whatever you want. And you cut this off and you cut off this flower, and you'll have this and you hang it upside down. So that's what they do in the tropics, like in a screen porch, and it stays away from the bugs and rats can't get it and whatever. Until it ripens, you'll see it slowly start to yellow and you kind of pull them as needed. Or you could cut them off the hands and just get, have hands like you would on your countertop. So those are the two ways to kind of, keep them so they don't rot, out here or whatever. Once you have your bananas, super important, you want to cut down the entire stalk that the banana came from so that the teenager can now go and be the one to go make fruit. Super important because that banana that fruited is never going to fruit again. So you really want to get it out of there and throw it in the, feed the rest of the plants, because it's kind of a waste of space, energy, all that. And then it starts to die back anyway. So cut that other banana off, get your bananas, go eat them, and let the teenager kind of take center stage and become the next banana producer. So that's kind of the flow of the bananas. I really hope you guys learned a lot from this video, and feel free to reach out. I love talking about bananas, and I definitely want to be a resource for you guys in growing resilient, amazing crops that'll feed us for a long time. So thanks guys, see you next time.